What I'd like to talk about with you today is the action of being awakened. And you know you are awake. You know you are, or you wouldn't be listening to my videos. You wouldn't be following certain activists on Facebook. You wouldn't be questioning everything that you've ever been taught to be truth. And it comes at that moment of questioning the truth. It comes at that moment of questioning of what you agreed to live by all these years, that you come into a place where you start and you begin to have that dialogue with your intuitive nature. And for me, that is what it's all about. It is about listening to your gut, questioning everything, questioning everyone. And what I mean by questioning everyone, I mean questioning the powers that be, questioning your television shows, your television news broadcasts, your popular magazines, your political leaders, your spiritual leaders, everything that is a part of the power structure of the planet needs to be questioned. We are finding now that as more and more of us awaken to this truth that is within us, we are now starting to see that this is spontaneous, not necessarily through indoctrination, not necessarily through belonging to an organization, not necessarily belonging to a political or religious affiliation. It has nothing to do with this. You are experiencing what you are experiencing through your own intuition. You are waking up to a call from something that is so deep within you, that divine nature that is within all of us. We are answering a call right now to become more empowered, and not only to be empowered, but to listen to that intuitive voice that is speaking within us. That intuitive voice is our connection to each other. That is what makes us an international movement that is going on right now. Do not be concerned with what other people think of you. That is the most and the very first lesson that I will give to all of you. As your intuition is growing, as you become more psychic, quote unquote, for lack of a better term, you're going to develop a very keen sense of the behavior or the motivation of people's behavior. You're going to become very keen on well, for lack of a better term, untruths or lies that are being shared around you, whether it be friends or family. You are going to become very aware of the disconnect from, again, the powers that be, whether you want to call it religion, politics, the media, the disconnect between you and what is supposed to be considered normal. And that's a very negative, or I should say, a very unhelpful way of looking at the world, normal versus unnormal. There is no separation between us and them. There is no them. There is no us. There is no 99% versus the 1%. It is all of us. It is 100% humanity that is going through this process of intuitive, spontaneous awakening. As you find yourself coming into a place of spontaneous individual awakening and intuitive awakening, you really want to seek out others of like mind. Now, when I say seeking out others of like mind, I don't necessarily mean those within the same political spectrum or religious spectrum or spiritual spectrum. Not at all. I'm speaking of finding those that are going through the awakening process, or have been going through the awakening process many years before you, perhaps, that could perhaps be a source of enrichment, of inspiration, a source of a community, as well as a support structure for you. I know for me, if it wasn't for the friends that I have who have awakened, quote unquote, and yeah, I might use that term a little bit too much during this presentation, but I know for me, having others around me that have awakened or are going through the process of awakening, and I'll get to that process in just a moment, I know that it just wouldn't be the same. It wouldn't be the same. I would feel very lost. I would feel very depressed, and I would feel like I'm going crazy. And sometimes you will feel like you're going crazy. That's a part of the process. Now, speaking about that process, let's remember that we're all going through this process individually at our own pace. Some may awaken to political corruption, some may awaken to religious lies, some may awaken to the corporate manipulation of everything food, television, media, politics, everything. So we're going to have holes, let's say, that will eventually come to surface, and we'll eventually we'll be free of them. We'll be free of them. And what I mean by that is, as a great example for me, and I mean no offense to anyone who is a practicing religious person, but for me, as one of the first awakenings I had was the corruption in the church, and how this was just it just didn't make sense. It you got to keep questioning, and they don't tell you not to question. So of course, that was one of the first things I awoke to. As well, the same thing goes with politics. Some people are okay with are happy in their little political paradigm, left versus right illusion, and that's fine. It's not up to us to force others to look at the world the way that we do. The only thing that we can do is to speak our truth and be a beacon of clarity for the rest of the world. We are not here, including myself, including you, all of us who are going through this spontaneous awakening that's happening. We're not here to drag other people into thinking the way that we think. We are only here to be the example. And as long as we stay within what our gut is telling us, we are not going to, excuse me, offend. We're not going to offend our spirit. And at the same time, even though it may create a little problem within your family or your friends or whatnot, maybe your political or religious views as they change, as you awaken, you need to stay true to what you're feeling and your intuition, because you are on your path. This is your path. And you are on this path right now for a specific reason. If you think about the magnitude and the enormity of this global awakening that is happening right now, you have to ask yourself, am I aligning myself with the awakening, or am I going to cling to the old paradigm so I can fit in better with my friends and family? And I would hope that your choice would be to follow your intuition, follow your spirit. And I mean, of course, let's be pleasant. There's not, awakening means being aware of compassion, having compassion for yourself, having compassion for other people of different beliefs, having clarity, understanding that this is a part of the evolution process for this planet. And it is with this, and I hope that we can all realize that we're not alone. There are millions of us around this planet going through this entire process, either individually within groups or part of other organizations. And you're not alone. You're not alone. I will talk to you. I'm more than happy to talk to you. I hope that these videos help. Please also, you can become a member of the Global Illumination Council. That's the GIC.org. And there are probably hundreds of other organizations like ours as well that it has integrity. And please remember about integrity. Um, I don't want to get into a whole spiel about integrity, but for me, integrity means following up on what you say, being true to what your cause is and whatnot. So with that, I want to wish you all a wonderful, wonderful day, evening, wherever you may be. I love you so very much, and I hope that this has been very helpful for you. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.